all of my fellow proud Ateneo Law School alumni, from our very own campus at Rockwell, I am extremely delighted to have this opportunity to greet you all in this much cherished Big, Bold, and Blue celebration. Often enough, we get oblivious to the many things that occur around us, including the very passage of time itself, because we have become so insanely busy attending to the routine, unique, mundane, and stressful demands of our professional pursuits, rendering landmark decisions that affect a multitude, litigating high-profile cases, closing billion-peso commercial transactions, rendering opinions on novel legal issues triggered by a constantly evolving society, assisting generously in making liberty possible to those wrongfully incarcerated or those who have long served their sentences, counseling the many who are in need, representing our brothers and sisters in the periphery, teaching our young future colleagues in the profession. Indeed, we have gotten so busy that it is not uncommon that in our everyday concerns, we have failed to stop and smell the flowers, so to speak. How fortunate we are then that each year we have that familiar moment, which is the Ateneo Law School Alumni Homecoming, when we can take a pause, not only to take stock of where we are, but to reflect back at where it all began, our Ateneo Law School. And yet, this year, it is suddenly unfamiliar. Suddenly, the scent of the flowers is different. This year, the flower's essence reminds us that in addition to gratitude for the knowledge in law and the training to become good, principled lawyers, we ought to remember that fundamental truth so critically essential in this period of great want that our Ateneo Law School sought to make us realize, articulated by our immediate past university president, Father Jet Villarin, in his message to the Ateneo Law class of 2020, and I quote, "The truth is this: you are greater than your job or legal profession. You are more than just a lawyer. You are a human being first, before you are a lawyer." Close quote. During the pandemic, we each heard the call to serve those in need, the sick, the frontliners, the country, and not just as lawyers, but first and foremost, as human beings. We are human beings before we are lawyers. As we consider the difference we can make as human beings in this time of crisis, let this year's homecoming prompt us to reflect upon what it means to be the big, the bold, and the blue in these challenging times, and as well as in this evening of celebration. Big to attest to the size of the Ateneans' hearts, bold to characterize the quality of the Atenean spirit, blue to affirm your devotion to Mary and gratitude for being Atenean. Welcome home, Ateneans, and congratulations to the celebrating Ateneo Law Big, Bold, and Blue classes of 1960, 1970, 1980, and 1995. And kudos to our hosts from the class of 1996. Good evening all, and ad maiorem Dei Gloriam.
Fellow Ateneans, in behalf of the Board of Trustees and officers of the Ateneo Law Alumni Association, Inc., we welcome you all to the first and hopefully the last virtual alumni homecoming event. Every year, we look forward to our alumni homecoming to reconnect with our law school friends and reminisce about the good old days of how we survived and managed to pass the law school. We get together to celebrate one another's achievements and remember the values and ideals we have learned during our stay in law school, which have helped us become the persons that we are today. This year's homecoming is no different. While we may not be together physically, we continue to celebrate. We celebrate each other, our perseverance, our ability to adapt and survive adversity. Now more than ever, during this time of pandemic, we are reminded that we are men and women for others, that we are Ignatian lawyers. Congratulations to the host class of 1996 for all their efforts in putting this virtual homecoming together. Congratulations too to the jubilarian classes of 1995, 1980, 1970, and 1960. Let's all have a big, bold, blue alumni homecoming. Ad majorem Dei gloriam. Thank you and good evening.
Good evening to all my fellow alumni. The COVID-19 pandemic certainly threw several major hurdles before the host class of 1996. Happily, they jumped over each trial and persevered to provide the alumni with a moment of joy and relief during these trying times. Through their efforts, we've seen that the homecoming of Ateneans is more than a night of food and drinks, but a big, bold, blue gathering of like-minded individuals dedicated to a noble profession in the service of others. From the first virtual Red Mass, the Mass of the Holy Spirit, broadcasted through Radyo Katipunan, to the fun-filled virtual marathons, the class of 1996 did not limit their efforts to the jubilarian classes, but saw each opportunity as one to lift everyone's spirits. This joy of togetherness is the best gift the class of 1996 could have given to the whole alumni community. So congratulations to the jubilarian classes of 1960, 1970, 1980, and 1995. Your full enthusiasm and determination in commemorating another milestone as Atenean lawyers, utilizing available technology, marks the beginning of a new normal for all future homecomings. I encourage you all alumni to show your appreciation of their efforts by participating in the homecoming on November 6, 2020. So let's all join the class of 1996 and the jubilarians and enjoy a big, bold, and blue night. Thank you.
Our years in law school in 1995, the year we graduated, seems such a distant memory. But it only takes a photograph, a cuento, a text, and a song to bring those memories in law school back to life. This time, our batch picked some songs to commemorate those wonderful memories. And tonight, we first pay tribute to our dear batchmates we have lost along the way. Our dear Enzo, Cello, Noriel, Punzi, and Hani. We value the years we spent in law school, that HV de la Costa building, that library, those stairs, that cafeteria, those classrooms. For these were the places we got introduced to Enzo, Cello, Noriel, Punzi, and Hani. From small talks to recitation tips, to making of digest, to Saturday gimmicks after class. Those friendships developed into deep and meaningful relationships and partnerships, no matter how short their stay on earth was. Each passing of a loved one leaves positive memories. Remember the way you laughed out loud, the many ways you made us smile and happy, your all too many friendly advices that have guided us through life, the thoughtful moments no matter how big and small, and the many more that help us through the years. We shall treasure all of these. Thank you, Enzo, Cello, Noriel, Punzi, and Hani. But tonight is not only about our departed friends and our past. Tonight is also about our future as we build the foundations of the coming years. We now view the future and look to fulfill unfulfilled dreams and to chart uncharted paths, inspired by life and fueled by love. Tonight, allow us to share our songs of life and love. And so, with the next 25 months, 25 years, be lived with inspirations from our past, and may our future lives be abundantly filled with love, hope, success, happiness, and joy. Happy homecoming, and welcome home.
Good evening, Jubilarians, Batch 1996, fellow Ateneans, and friends and family with us tonight. I think it is an understatement to say that 2020 is an unprecedented year. It has been difficult, has been uncertain, with no benchmark to anchor on. Our batch launched into homecoming preparation during our whiskey night, which some of you may have attended, and announced our theme, Big, Bold, Blue. Now, Big, Bold, Blue is a play with words with what we hoped to achieve back then, presenting to the Ateneo law community a grand alumni homecoming worthy of our status and prestige as the Ateneo. We were flying high, big and bold, but only to be humbled 6 days later with the total lockdown of Metro Manila and its surrounding provinces. Everything just stopped. Has been said that there's magic in challenging the impossible, and this is where our story begins. We started off defeated and discussed the cancellation of the 2020 homecoming as other schools have done the same. However, in our discussions with the Alumni Board of Trustees, it was the deep sentiment that we could not let pass the moment to honor our jubilarian batches 1960, 1970, 1980, and 1995, even if it meant scaling down the celebrations by 90%. As you may agree, it is a painful time for most, and a lavish celebration would just be uncalled for and against our core values as being men and women for others. So tonight is a testament to the Atenean strength of spirit, tenacity, and boldness in times of adversity. And our gift to the jubilarian batches, more than this virtual homecoming, is the gift of service. For this year, Batch 96 came together to support not just the usual social and civic activities of Ateneo Law Alumni Association, but we added to our fundraising efforts not just one, but two institutions, the Advocates for Children and Elders International and the orphanage Casa Miani, Sorsogon. There's magic in challenging the impossible, and it takes a special kind of team to swim against this current. Join me to thank the Batch 1996 Homecoming Core Group who unselfishly gave their time and talent over the past 12 months, starting off with the Ateneo Law Alumni Trustee, EVP, and our very own batch representative, Martin Tensuan, and Class of 1996 Vice President, Raquel Chavez. Allow me also to thank, for their tireless efforts, Bridget Da Costa Villaluz, Christine Base, Arlene Tanwakio Agustin, Bobet Bruce, Pinky Nora Manalo, Charlene Ang, Mike Limusnero, and last but definitely not the least, Janina Ariola Bono. On behalf of the Ateneo Law community, thank you. You're all rock stars. And together with you all, it has been a privilege serving the Ateneo Law community once again. At this point, as we near the close of our program, and on behalf of Batch 1996, I would now like to turn the reins over to Batch 1997, the privilege to host the next alumni homecoming. Allow me to introduce to you the President of Class of 1997, Attorney Bong Montesa, to accept this honor.
In behalf of Ateneo Law Class of 1997, I accept the statue of St. Ignatius de Loyola. We are privileged and ready to host the 2021 Grand Alumni Homecoming of the Ateneo de Manila University School of Law. We are looking forward to seeing all of you next year. Thank you very much.